In the mid-1980s, California was gripped by fear. Doors were locked. Windows were barricaded. And people went to sleep wondering if they would wake up. His name was Richard Ramirez, but the media gave him a far more terrifying title. The Night Stalker. This is the story of one of America's most infamous serial killers. Richard Ramirez was born in 1960 in El Paso, Texas. His childhood was far from normal. He grew up in a household marked by violence, substance abuse, and neglect. As a young boy, Richard suffered multiple head injuries, which some experts believe may have affected his behavior later in life. But one influence stands out above the rest: his cousin, Mike Ramirez, a Vietnam War veteran. Mike shared graphic stories from the war and showed Richard disturbing photographs. Even worse, Richard witnessed Mike murder his own wife when he was just 13 years old. From that moment on, something changed. Richard became obsessed with violence, death, and eventually, Satanism. By 1984 and 1985, Richard Ramirez had moved to California, and that's when the terror began. Unlike many serial killers, Ramirez had no specific victim type. Men, women, children, elderly, no one was safe. His crimes happened mostly at night, which earned him the name the Night Stalker. He would enter homes through unlocked doors or windows, attacking people while they slept. What made Ramirez especially frightening was how unpredictable he was. There was no pattern. No clear motive. Just fear. He also left behind disturbing symbols and forced victims to swear loyalty to Satan, further fueling public panic. California had never seen anything like this. In August 1985, everything changed. After being identified through a fingerprint match, Ramirez returned to Los Angeles, completely unaware that his face was now known to the entire city. When residents recognized him, they didn't wait for police. A group of civilians chased Ramirez through the streets. He was beaten and restrained until authorities arrived. The Night Stalker was finally caught. Ramirez's trial began in 1988 and became one of the most expensive and publicized trials in U.S. history. He showed no remorse. He smirked at cameras. He openly declared his allegiance to Satan. In 1989, Richard Ramirez was convicted of 13 counts of murder, along with dozens of other crimes. He was sentenced to death row. Despite his horrific actions, Ramirez gained a disturbing fanbase, receiving letters and even marriage proposals while in prison. Richard Ramirez died in prison in 2013 before his execution could be carried out. But his legacy remains, not as someone to be glorified, but as a reminder of how deeply human darkness can run. The Night Stalker didn't just terrorize victims. He changed how people thought about safety, fear, and evil itself. And even today, his name sends a chill down the spine.